Hey guys, welcome to Witches of the Moon. I'm your Wednesday host, and this week's topic is over branches and traditions of paganism. Before I get started in with this week's topic, I just want to throw something out there. The 7 of us are doing this channel to help you guys, to answer any questions that you might be afraid to ask. So the topics that we choose, or the topics that are being talked about each week, are coming from you guys. 90% of the topics that we get come from you guys. The other 10% come from me, but I get them from researching online forums for questions that have been asked over the years. That being said, with us being here to help you, in the last couple of weeks, we've had some watchers that have not been leaving some very nice comments. Without sounding rude, we're not here to discriminate against anybody. We're not here to say what we say is the right way and the only way. There are 7 of us for a reason, and each one of us is a little different. And because we choose one topic to talk about all 7 days, that gives you, our viewers, 7 different options or 7 different views of the way things are done in our lives. So that way, maybe if it's something that you connect with, you can pick up from it too. And that's the reason our ages are so different. We have young, and then we have the not so young. But that sounded really mean. I didn't mean it to sound like that. But our age differences are like that for a reason as well. And I'm sure everybody that watches us was raised that if you can't say something nice, don't say nothing at all. If you feel that you have to make a comment on one of our videos to say that we're bad or we're disgraceful or anything like that, how about let's not even post it? Because our viewers, when you go onto somebody else's video and you see something like that in a comment, how would you feel? Not very good. So, that being said, if you could just please, if you don't have something nice to say, let's not say it at all. We love to have your feedback. We love to have your comments, but your negativity is not necessary. And it doesn't help anybody, not yourself, not any of us. So, this week's topic is over branches and traditions, and I've been Wiccan myself for 20 years. I know of other branches and traditions. I don't know them very well. When it comes to voodoo and Santeria or anything like that, I have not the slightest idea. But when it comes to basic witchery or the pagan religion, the Wiccan religion, I think I'm fairly knowledgeable in it. I've been practicing it for 20 years. My way is probably a little bit different than most others. As there are some things that I do in my practice that some people don't do in theirs, and vice versa. But that's what I like about it, because it's my practice, and that's where I feel the most comfortable. So I can sit here and talk about Wicca all day. There are some people that don't like the Wiccan religion. That's fine. But what I consider a branch would be the different types of magic that can be performed, like green witchery, being a hedge witch, or I think a new term now is being a green witch. So a form of your practice, that's what I consider a tradition, or a branch. That's what I consider a branch of paganism or witchcraft. Now for me, traditions are different types of practice that is not in the Christian realm. Anything that is earth-based religion, I consider paganism. Therefore, the different types of paganism to me are traditions. You've got Buddhism, which some of you out there probably don't agree with me on that, but that's fine. That's the reason we have these videos. But for me, anything that is an earth-based religion, or an earth-based practice, that to me is considered a tradition, something you have your own way of doing things. I just recently found out about Appalachian witchcraft. I'd never heard of it, and it's just interesting to me. There's a few that don't interest me at all. Being Luciferian doesn't interest me. Being a Satanist doesn't interest me. Santeria, I think is what it's called. That doesn't interest me. But it might interest many of you, and there are people this week that just might talk about it. But I stick with my Wiccan religion because that's what I feel most about. That's what I feel most comfortable talking about. So I'll talk just a little bit about Wicca. I've talked about it in other videos before, and I've also talked about it in my regular channel, which I'll put the link down in the description if you don't already know me or whatever. So to me, Wicca is a religion. You can be... My views have changed over the years, but I've still always stuck with Wicca. But my views of Wicca have changed over the years. You can be a Wiccan and not practice witchcraft. You can practice witchcraft and not be a Wiccan. That's fine. I choose to do both. I'm a Wiccan, but I also practice witchcraft. That being said, I will not and refuse to do anything that is against somebody else's will. I've had so many people send me messages on Facebook, or even here for that matter, saying, I want this person to fall in love with me. It doesn't work that way. Because that's, to me, that is going against free will. And if I go against free will, then I'm looking at karma. And it just all rolls into one for me. Being Wiccan, I know the Wiccan Rede, and the Wiccan Rede states that I just lost my train of thought. I'm not editing this. Knowing the Wiccan Rede, it states in the Wiccan Rede, do as thy will, harm none. So I live by that very strictly. I am not a fighter. I never have been a fighter. I've always been a peacemaker. Always been a peacemaker. Sometimes you just find those people that live, I think they were born to just argue and manipulate, and I was not like that. I never have been like that. I've never had any reason to do any harm to any other person. I've always been the type of person to help in any type of way, and that that's good for me because I follow the Wiccan Rede quite closely. And even on my shop, I don't think, currently right now, I don't have anything like, I don't know, just things that try to, I think the closest thing to remotely anything like that would be my, well, it's not on my shop now, I don't have any of my spell kits up, but I do make spell kits. And one of the spell kits that I had available, still have available, I can make one up, is a bully blocker spell kit. Bullying is so bad nowadays, it's just insane, and I have found that not only do the younger generation need these as help and protection, it's so sad to say that most of the adults nowadays need these too from other childish people, and it's just crazy. But so that's my views on different traditions and the different branches of paganism and witchcraft. So, until next week, blessed be.